friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. I am Martina Lily, and today we are putting the new Viseart Paris Reveries palette to the test. Believe it or not, I did look up the French pronunciation of this word, but it's not happening from my vocabulary, okay? You guys wanted to see this in action. So we're gonna do in-depth swatches, and then I'm gonna compare it to some other Viseart palettes and another palette in my collection that I think a lot of people might own and be comparing against, and then we're gonna do a look together. There will be timestamps, so if you're only interested in certain parts, you can check them out. But before we get into it, let's do the YouTubey things, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let's get started. Before we zoom on in and do the look, just a couple of quick details. One, all of the products that I use on my face today will be linked down below in the description box. They are affiliate links though, so if you shop through them, thank you so much. Now, this one is the brand new Viseart palette, the Paris Reveries. I think it's like Reveries. I can't pronounce it correctly. Trust me, and I did look up the pronunciation. Etendu palette. So this is an Etendu one, not a petite. So Etendu, think like cashmere charmeuse size, not the petite size. So just for reference. And you know, beautiful, slim, luxurious packaging. Also comes with your sleeve with the shade names on the back. And then it was about 60, I think it was about 70 Australian dollars. It's 44 USD plus tax. And you can get this off Beautylish and also the Viseart website, which ships, I think, worldwide now. Now, I've swatched all mine, so it's a bit grubby now, but this is the palette inside right here. And it's a very kind of muted, cool tone story. Very muted. So it's not going to go to those deep, dark skin tones, I don't think. A couple of the metallics will, but like these mattes are not going to show up on a deep skin tone. So it's more of like a light version of, I want to say it's almost like a light version of, say, the Cashmere palette, which I'll show you guys the swatches and all that kind of stuff. So this particular formula, when I was swatching it, by the way, which you will see, is a very soft formula set. And I always do find personally that Viseart mattes, they don't swatch well. They really look terrible swatched, but they perform impeccably, truly impeccably. And you'll notice from the swatches as well that these metallics, they're not super glittery metallics. They're just a straight metallic, almost satin type formula. So instantly tells me it's going to be really nice for mature lids or just those people that want a more subtle formula. So we will put it to the test. This one does hard pen, but it's not actually the shadow's fault. It's because I didn't wipe my hand properly before, like from this swatch going into the next swatch, you know what I mean? So just FYI. Now I am going to compare and show you guys swatches and comparisons against some other palettes. So the first one I'll show you against is the Cashmere. So this one's Cashmere. Now don't worry, like the swatches will come after these swatches, okay? But just for reference. So this is the Cashmere and the new one. Same but different a little bit. This is the Cashmere Charmeuse. This one is the Violet Vespertine, which I think is probably the closest, really. And then the other swatch comparison I will give you guys is against the Dior Smoky Essentials, just in case you have recently bought the Dior Smoky Essentials and whether or not it's same but different enough for you. So let's go ahead and swipe into those swatches and comparisons. Alright, you guys are zoomed in nice and close, 4K no filters, the normal deal. We're going to use the Viseart Eye Primer today, which I have been telling you guys I really enjoy. With my order, I actually picked up a Wayne Goss eyeshadow brush. So this is the first time I'm trying a Wayne Goss brush at all. This is the E3, one of his new ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight into this transition shade right here. And let's try this brush. Bit of kick up, but that's kind of usually pretty standard for a Viseart shadow. This might be better as a deepening brush, to be fair, not so much a... Yeah, let's actually use that as a deepening brush because it's so pointed. I'll pick up my Sonia G crease one and use that same shade to begin with. I mean, that's the Viseart formula you know and love. There is a bit of fallout though, so just keep that in mind, but honestly, this formula is delightful, especially if you are someone that doesn't feel like they are good at blending eyeshadow or a bit nervous about blending eyeshadow. You know, I always say that the Viseart formula is really just easy to work with. Any like expert level of makeup application, you know, you can use this, and it's really great for those people that just want those soft everyday kind of eyeshadow looks. It's such a beautiful formula. This is my Smith Cosmetics just blending brush. It has no color, and I'm just gonna fluff that a little bit. Going back in with that Wayne Goss E3, I can't talk today. We're just gonna go into this deepening shade right here. Yeah, I think if you are looking for a palette though that's gonna go quite deep and smoky, unless you're incredibly pale, I just don't think this is the palette for you. And I'm just gonna use this to deepen up. I do like how pointed this kind of crease brush is. It's a little bit denser, but I like, it's a unique shape. I literally have no blending brush that is like this pointed of a tapered blending brush. Good for hooded eyes. Those of us with hooded eyes, this is a great brush. That's nice. Again, this matte is very easy to work with. I like this brush for like a deepening crease brush. This is nice. Has anyone tried all of the new Wayne Goss brushes? Let me know. There's like an angled cheek brush that I wouldn't mind getting, but it's, you know, it's pricey, so it's on the list. I've got so many brushes I need to like not pick up too many new ones. I'm actually going to dip into just a touch of this one right here and just sweep that a little bit here, very lightly. I'm going to take my Refa 2 and go into this shadow first, this bottom metallic, and I won't put any intensifiers. I'll use this dry on the first eye just so that you guys can see the comparison and see the versatility. So I'm just going to press this. That's pretty. Now this is going to be nothing like Wham Bam. See how subtle it is? And then let me show you just with a finger. It will amp it up a bit. But if you do want that subtleness, using a brush is going to really create that. But see how that's still very pretty. It's like a little bit more amped up than a satin. Great for textured and mature lids. Really good. And then what I've done is I've just wiped that brush, that Refa 2, sorry, off on my Sigma switch, and I'm going to go into the orange shade now. And I'm going to put that in here. Yeah, so it's very, I would recommend if you're not going to put down a glitter glue, use your fingers personally, unless you want it to be incredibly subtle, because that's going to get you the most payoff. But see, there's not that much amped up, there's not even that much color difference between those two, if I'm honest, which is interesting. Let's try with our Pat McGrath Labs Intensify stick on this eye. First up, Refa 2 going into the purple shade. You don't have to use like Pat intensifiers, you could use a glitter glue or wet your brush as well. You can instantly see the difference that it makes. That's so much better. In my personal opinion, you might like a softer metallic though, keep that in mind. Everyone's preferences are different. And then now the orange shade. This orange shade really doesn't have any impact to it, even in with the intensifiers. There you go, a little bit better there. I was expecting it to be a bit brighter. It's a very subtle orange shade if you're looking for that. I wouldn't say that shade impresses me a lot, I'll say that. Going back into a little bit of that deeper brown with that Wayne Goss brush, I'll just marry the lighter section right here. And then just that Sonia G crease one with no colour on it. Listen, I'm not impressed on this side, especially with that orange, because it's already kind of gone away. Like it's literally already like fallen off my lid. So I'm going to put some intensifiers on because where have the shadows gone? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. And I'm gonna do the speed through of my base makeup now, and then we'll come back and do lower lash line. And then, you know, the deal I usually do highlighter, blush, and lips with you guys. And then I'm gonna give you guys my final thoughts on this palette. So let's do it. Okay, so up to bronzer and brows is all done, and I did put the purple Satin Kajal from Victoria Beckham in my top waterline, and I got this new Sweed eyeliner, so Sweed Cosmetics or just Sweed Beauty satin eyeliner in the shade Mink Greige, and I got this in PR. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that a beautiful color? And I put that in the lower waterline and I really like it. It reminds me of the LH Cosmetics Greige Kohl crayon, which is one of my favorite shades for an eyeliner, but it irritates my eyes, unfortunately. So I'll keep you guys in the loop as to whether or not this irritates my eyes. So let's do this lower lash line. I'm going to take a Sephora Precision Shadow Brush and go into our transition shade that we used and press that in here under the eyes. With the teensiest amount on the same brush, I'm just going to use some of this dark brown and just lightly tap it here. Nothing crazy. Sonia G pencil brush, and I will take a little bit of this gold, I think, for the inner corner. Actually, no, I don't like that. I might take this pink right here, pinky purple. Just a teeny bit right here. Okay. I don't like because I'm working now, so I don't like my inner corner to be too intense for a day look. Now, Sweed also sent me this mascara in PR. This is the Cloud Mascara, I believe it's called. Yeah, Cloud Mascara in black. So this is the first time I'm trying it. We'll see how it goes. It's got a plastic wand here, and it's, I think, supposed to lift. So that's one eye with the mascara, one eye not. It's actually pretty decent. I like how black it is too. I usually find mascaras, I can't give my final thoughts until I've had it open about a week, but initially I like it. That's pretty. It makes them look really feathery. I'll keep you guys updated. For my highlight, I'm gonna take Lisa Eldridge liquid highlight in Pink Moon. I just take it with my sponge. Still one of the best liquid highlighters around, if you ask me. Delightful. And then I'm actually going to set that with the Tom Ford pink highlighter. So this is Soleil Neige in Rose Iris. And then for blush, I'm actually going to take my Danessa Myricks Blooming Romance palette, and I've just got a Refa 4, and I'm going to go into this pomade right here, which is the Allure pomade, and I'll just tap it. And if you caught my review, or if you've caught any of my rants about this palette, you know how much I love it, and the fact that I think this is such a wonderful blush formula. And then I'm actually going to mix a little bit of the Allure matte powder with a little bit of the Smitten matte powder for the actual powder blush portion. This is a Refa 5. So I'm just going to mix them both. Oh yeah, that's perfect. I love these. That's perfect. Milk Makeup setting spray. Alright, for lip liner, I'm going to try Natasha Denona Clio. Yeah, 0.5 Clio, because I have not tried this yet. This is new for me. That's a really pretty colour. Really pretty. I like that. And then this lipstick isn't a perfect match for this lip liner, but I just really wanted to try the lip liner. This is Westman Atelier Piqué. Actually, it's not too bad. And if you have not also heard me rant about how amazing these lipsticks are, run don't walk. I really like that. Okay, I do think I need a little gloss. This is the Dior Lip Maximizer in Rose Nude. I'm just going to put it on the center. Perfect. All right, let me go do jewelry, zoom out, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on this palette and whether I think it's worth it and what the formula is like. So 2 seconds. Alrighty friends, finished look. What do you guys think? I think it's come together really, really nicely. I think it's a very beautiful everyday look, at least for me. Let's talk about this palette because I have some thoughts that I really feel like I need to share about it. And keeping in mind, this is really just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. We're all very different, have different preferences, that kind of thing. And I really love and adore Viseart as a brand. I think they're an incredible brand, and all of the other eyeshadow palettes I own from them I think are impeccable. But if I'm being completely 100% transparent with you guys, this is not my favorite palette from Viseart. And I'm going to tell you why, because there's a couple of reasons. One, I think this color story, it is very, very pretty and very beautiful. And I can see for some people it's like the dream color story. But for me, it's very similar to like a lot of the palettes that they've released lately. Like this purple, I really need Viseart to let the purples go. They've done a lot of smoky purples and I just think wonderful. You've got like a whole selection of them now. Let's let them go and move on to some other color stories for me personally. Again, personal opinion. Secondly, I really don't think this quality of this palette is as good as the other Viseart palettes. That could just be my perception. It might be exactly the same formula as the others. I mean, the mattes, I will say, beautiful. Granted, I only tried 2 of them, but the 2 mattes that I tried, absolutely stunning, blended themselves, gorgeous. But these metallics, for me, are nowhere near as impressive as what the Viseart metallics normally are to me. Keeping in mind, like I'm aware these metallics, like the Viseart metallics that I've tried, and I've got a lot of their palettes, and I'll do a ranking coming up, but like I have a lot of their palettes, like, I don't know, I think I've got like maybe between 15 and 20 of their palettes, right? their metallics are never Wham Bam Pat McGrath Lab special shades, or, you know, Natasha Denona like metallics, or, you know, Glaminatrix metallics. They're not like that. And that's one of the reasons why I actually love the brand, is because I personally just find they're a very nice everyday makeup wearer, makeup consumer eyeshadow palette, and they suit all different lid textures, all different ages, that kind of a thing. But these metallics, at least the two that I tried, just weren't impressive. And like, I had to use the intensifiers to get them to kind of adhere to the eye, which is what concerns me, because if I wasn't using the intensifiers and it was just a very subtle formula, that's totally fine to me, because I don't mind that. That means that if I really want just a very soft, subtle metallic or satin on the lid, great, I can not use intensifiers and get that. And if I want to amp it up a little bit, I can use the intensifiers or a glitter glue and get that amped up version, which means I have a very versatile formula, right? But with this one, especially this orange shade, when I didn't use the intensifiers on this side, it just didn't show up on the eye. And then I used my finger to apply it, and it kind of applied, but then by the time I'd done this eye and gone back, all of this had like worn away. And I'm not used to that from a Viseart metallic. Normally the Viseart metallic has longevity on the lid and is just, it's more impactful on the lid than nothing. Like, it just felt quite chalky and nothing like. And even this purple, like, it worked a lot better than the orange, but I still had to apply the intensifiers to kind of get it to have some longevity to it. Now, that could just be the two shades that I tried, but even just from swatching, like, I will say the Viseart palettes do normally have a bit of kick up and fallout, but this one seems to have more than normal. Normally that doesn't bother me, and it doesn't really bother me in terms of like, if the formula was exceptional, I wouldn't even blink twice about it. But the reason why I'm like, oh, this does have a little bit more fallout than normal, and the formula seems to be not as good as normal. So I don't know if they're correlated or what, because I'm not a makeup scientist or chemist or whatever. I've never created my own products. But yeah, this palette for me is an easy skip. And I hate saying that, I really do. It does not mean that Viseart is a skip. Viseart is an incredible brand. It's just that for me, personally, again, keep in mind, personal preference, this palette is a skip. It's not their best work, in my humble opinion. It just isn't. Like, when I look at all of their other palettes, like the Viseart Cashmere palette, the Viseart Charmeuse Cashmere palette, the Violette Vespertine palette, they are truly creme de la creme. Creme de la creme. I wore the Cashmere palette on my wedding day. That is how much I love that eyeshadow palette. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wore that on my wedding day. I would not, I honestly will use this for content purposes, like in rankings and comparings and all that kind of stuff, and that's how I'll get my money out of this palette. But if I was a makeup consumer that was not doing YouTube, I would never use this palette again, because maybe every now and then for the mattes. But I really wouldn't, like, in my collection, this metallic formula, even the matte formula, it's like, I don't need you. I've got other Viseart palettes, I've got other palettes that are way more impeccable. They'll do the same, if not a lot better. That's my personal opinion. I know, I'm sorry if that's a bit harsh and stuff. Again, just my personal opinion, we're all different, keep that in mind. I still love Viseart as a brand. I still recommend all of their other palettes that I've talked about on my channel before, and the ones that I just mentioned. But this one for me really is an easy skip, and I'm so sorry, but yeah. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Have you guys picked up the palette? You might feel differently to me, and that's totally okay. In fact, good for you, because you didn't waste any of your money. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. I'd be really interested in hearing. Now, if you've made it this far, you're an absolute legend. Thank you so, so much. And an absolute special shout out to my Lily Absolute Legends. Thank you for supporting my channel, and thank you to all of my members. I appreciate you guys so, so much. And I hope you have the most amazing day, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you next time. Bye.